Welcome back to the Mind Body Project. Thanks for taking a little time to join me today. A few years ago, my wife Kim, she worked for a company and she earned an incentive trip. She had met all the requirements and earned an incentive trip to Switzerland. It was 4 or 5 days. I don't really remember how many days it was, but it's going to be this great trip. So we decided, you know what? Hey, if we're going to, they were covering airfare and hotel there and all that there in Switzerland. So we thought, why not? If they're already covering the airfare, it didn't matter, if we went early, stayed longer, the airfare's the same. So we went ahead and went a few days early. So we could see Paris and Germany and Italy, a few of those other places. Since we're already there, it's all pretty close by train, car. It's, in the great state of Texas, can take forever to cross the state. There, we're different places and just a few hour train ride or car ride. So it's pretty neat. We were able to get to see a lot. But the first place we went, we flew into Paris. We'd always dreamed of seeing the Eiffel Tower and how magnificent it was, and it was just, it has a big big time difference, and so I don't even remember how long the flight was, 10, 11 hours, I don't really even remember, but I just remember that the time difference, we went all day, and it was exhausting. By the end of the day, I think we'd been up 24 hours, maybe longer. I don't really remember all the details, but we were there in Paris and seeing all the sights and walking around, and it's just a neat place to see them. And we've been seeing these different street games. I don't really know what else they're called, but one was, where you have a ball and then you have 3 cups and they switch it around and you try to guess. And so we watched it for the longest time and watched and said, I would watch somebody play, they'd give monies, and if they won, they'd give money back. So I watched for a while. I said, they got that wrong. It's under this cup. Oh no, they got that wrong. And they won a couple times. They'd give them money, and see, that's right. So I thought, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna give that a try. And so I played, and I was watching really careful. The guy was moving it all around, and he was moving around. I thought, and I don't even remember how much it cost to play. It was in euros, but I don't really remember what the cost was. I thought, I can do that. It'll be fun, easy. I can make a few bucks. So he switches them around. I know where it's at. It's not there. Like, oh, come on. And crowds going. There's some people that have gotten around the game, and you can get it this time. And so I play again, and moves it around kind of slow. I'm like, I got it this time. So I point to it, and it lifts up the cup. No ball. Okay. Now I'm thinking, okay, I know this, and so I give him some more money, and Kim at this point say, no, hey, let's just go. Let's go. No, I got this. And so I give him some more money, and I'm thinking, okay, I know where it's at. I'm going to watch closer. So they do it again, and pull up the cup, no ball. Thinking, okay. And by this time, Kim's saying, hey, let's go. Let's just go. No, I got this. And some of the people in the crowd go, oh, you can get it one more time. And she said, no, let's go. I said, okay. And the crowd and the guy that was doing it said, oh, come on, one more time. And so Kim's still telling me, no, we need to go. Don't do that again. I don't pay any attention. Give him some money. And I want to say by this time I'm probably $75, maybe $100 in American dollars. And so does it again. I'm watching real close, and pulls up that cup, no ball. And I just can't figure out what was going on. And Kim said, we need to go. That's too much to waste on that street game. And I said, I feel like such a goofball. And there's some lessons I learned from that. And one of them was that sometimes the smartest of people, I consider myself smart enough to know that I can follow a ball and 3 cups and figure it out. It wasn't moving fast. It's just, I thought, I'm smart enough to figure that out. One of the lessons was that I learned that smart people can be fooled. And I'm thinking, so how are they fooling me? So we walk away from the game. We're still watching the game and think, something's got to be going on. And we talked to another guy, and he said, well, you know that game's rigged. The people that are winning are part of the game. So if you're just walking up and you see some people winning, they're guessing, you go, oh, I can do that. So you put some money down. Little do you know, because you just walked up, that those people are part of the game. Then the people that are saying, oh, come on, you're almost there, play again. Again, they're part of the game. So it's if you don't know that and you're just walking up and researching the game later, and I can't remember what the game had a name, and Kim Googled it, and sure enough, that was one of those things that they get tourists to get into, and that's how they take their money, because the people winning as you walk up, they're part of the game. People that are telling you to keep playing are part of the game. Another thing I learned was that sometimes we are so focused on the untruth that we don't hear the outside noise. I was so focused on, I can get it next time. I know where that ball's going. I don't know how they're switching it, but I know. Because I couldn't see everything. And Kim was telling me, come on, let's go. I was like, I kind of heard her, but yet I was like, no, I can get this. Just one more game, one more time, I can get this. I'm watching close. I step back. I'm watching. That person's winning because they're guessing, and that's where but when I'd stop and the next person would play and win, I go, that's because they're part of the game. But I was so focused on that I didn't look to see what was going on. I didn't hear that outside noise. I didn't hear Kim tell me, come on. Didn't bother to Google it before. And I felt like such a goofball that I didn't get it, that I didn't listen to Kim was saying, hey, come on, let's go. That's enough. And I thought, because again, I was being fooled, and I considered myself smart, intelligent, but they were fooling me, and it made me feel taken advantage of. So I kept trying, but I never did win. That's the purpose of the game, is for you to lose your money, but yet be right on the edge of winning to keep coming back to play again when there's no chance you're going to win. The game is set up with all the different players involved, all the different people involved, that you're not going to win, because they don't make any money if you win. The people that are winning are part of the game, so that money's going right back into the people that are running the game. And so how many times does that happen to us in a daily life? When we see things and we know it's probably an untruth, but we're so focused on that, I think it is true. I think this next time will work. And we have other outside influences telling us, it's that outside noise saying, no, don't do that. Get out of that environment. Change friends. Change jobs. Change this. Change that. But we're so focused on that untruth that we think, I'm almost there. It's almost going to be true. That we just tune out that outside noise. And that outside noise is oftentimes there to help us, to keep us from making a mistake. Kim was being vocal and being very vocal and grabbing my arm and saying, let's go. And no, I looked at her, no, I can get this. I got to figure it out. And she's grabbing me saying, let's go. And I'm not going. So those outside voices, those outside noises, those outside people telling you that's not the thing you should be doing, can be pulling you, can be talking to you, and can be very strong. But we're so focused on that untruth that it doesn't matter what they say or do, we don't listen. We go back back to that untruth. We go back to that focus because we can't break that focus because there's just something about that. Oh, we're so close. We're just about to make the breakthrough with a friend, in a relationship, in a job, in something we're just about there. We can't look away. We can't get away. And then I also learned, as I mentioned before, that oftentimes there's more than one person in on the game. There's maybe just not that person. If it was just that I don't even know if you call him a street performer, street con artist, more like it. But if it was just that person doing the ball with the 3 cups, there's been chances that I won because I could have looked. Maybe his hands didn't move as fast. I could have maybe had a chance. But there was the guy doing the ball in the cups. There was a couple people in the crowd that were winning, so it wasn't the same person winning all the time. There was a couple people, and there was also a person that was away from the game as a lookout because it was illegal. They weren't allowed to do that, but they were doing it. So that there was a person looking out to make sure that nobody was coming. They wouldn't get in trouble. They'd move the game, say we're done, and we'll move on. So as we looked, we saw that after Kim had Googled it and saw what was really going on. And then that brings me to another point is sometimes we have to be able to step back, regroup, and be able to see what really is going on. After Kim got me out of that environment, and sometimes we just get caught up in the excitement and, we're almost there, we're win, we can almost get it. And we just get caught up in that when there's really no chance of that working out. There's no hope of that working out. But we can't see it because we're in it. And sometimes when we're in it, we can't see everything around us. But when she finally got my attention, finally pulled me away and Googled it and said, hey, this is what's going on. We stepped back and then we watched the game for a little while to see what was going on, to see that there was 1 or 2 people outside of the game being maybe spotters, I don't know what you would call them, to see if anybody's coming, that they need to move the game. Then when we started watching people in the game, we started realizing who was winning. The people just walking up weren't winning. They were playing, but they weren't winning. The people that were staying there were the ones winning. They were part of the game. So when you just step up, you don't know where these people came from. You're in Paris and you're by the Eiffel Tower and doing, so you're looking at everything. You're not paying attention to these games. You're not paying attention to the people coming and going. So many people coming and going. But when you step back and you can kind of see the big picture, you go, now I see what's going on. Now I can see what odds are against that player. And we can do that same thing for ourselves. We can, when we get out of that situation, when we get out of that laser focus thing that's not good for us, whatever that thing is, we can step back. And maybe we need help. Maybe in this case it was Kim that was able to point out and say, look over there, look at that, look what's going on in the game. And then I was able to go, yeah, you're right. I should have listened the first time, instead of, but I just can't explain that focus was so intense for me that her grabbing me and telling me, come on, wasn't doing it. Wasn't getting me out of the game. It wasn't until I lost some money that I was like, man, I'm not winning. I was smart enough to say I'm done and walked away. And even walking away, they said, oh, come on, you're so close, But I just had to just turn my back and walk away. And sometimes that's what we have to do when we have that laser focus and it's not something that's good for us and we're focused on that untruth. We just have to turn around, walk away, and ignore what's going on behind us, what's going on in the game. We have to turn away from that. And so, I thought that was some interesting lessons, and as I reflected, preparing for today's show, and reflected about that experience in Paris, and I thought, in that game, that whole scenario maybe took 5 minutes. It happened very fast. And so as I reflected on that, getting ready for the show, I thought about the different lessons that game taught me. And I walked away, quite honestly, feeling like I'd just been taken advantage of, that I've just what was I thinking? I mean, it took me a day or two to get over it, to think that I'd been kind of shystered, been conned for $100. I'd been conned out of that. And I thought, well, how did I let that happen? And again, reflecting on it, I realized that it's just because sometimes when you're so involved in something, you just can't look beyond it. And that was the problem. I couldn't look beyond it. And it really did take me, and I don't even know if Kim and I have really mentioned that to anybody, but just because we felt like, man, we've been conned. And as I'm sharing it now, a few years later, it's probably been 4 years. I think maybe 4 years. It's been a while. And really the first time I shared it. But it was a lesson I wanted to share about just a simple game in Paris, that the lessons learned from it really affects my life, really affects each of our lives. Because those lessons, we've all been fooled when we think, man, I should know better than that. We've all focused on some untruths when people are trying to tell us, don't do that, don't take that job, don't get in that relationship, don't get in that friendship, don't take on this task, don't do that. That's not that's not in your best interest. We've all faced those, been focused on those untruths and not listened to the outside noise. We've all, after we step back and we look at the big picture and we look at what's going on, we regroup, realize, man, there's more than one person in this game. There's more than one person, more than one thing going on here. But we can't see it when we're in the game. And so those are powerful lessons that we can take and apply to our situations. And I think it's really a challenge to us, a challenge to, and all those things probably could have been avoided if I'd stepped back and watched it first, instead of just jumping in. Maybe, watch it a little closer and from afar, instead of just watching just for a second, go, I can do that, and jump in. Maybe I need to be a little slower in that case to take action. And I think sometimes that's okay to be a little slower to take action, but so we can just kind of see what's going on. Maybe it's something we need to watch for a little while. Maybe it's something we need to watch for more than a day. Maybe we need to see how somebody interacts with other people, a variety of people, not just one individual. Maybe it's a job we need, to check out several different things about it. Maybe talk to people who have worked there, been there. We take our time and we look at these things and really study them, and how can they help us, and without us jumping in and being laser focused on some untruth. So I hope my lessons I learned in Paris around the Eiffel Tower help you, and then you can see how you can apply those to your everyday life, and some of those decisions and some of those maybe untruths that you're focused on, that maybe you didn't realize you were focused on those untruths until today's podcast, that maybe you've realized that, oh man, those people are speaking loud, grabbing me, and I'm not listening. Let me step back and see what they're saying and see what's really going on. So I hope these lessons have, you can take them and apply to your life. And I'd love to take the opportunity to help you in any way I can, whether it's one-on-one coaching, whether it's personal training, whether it is in my free texting community, in my weekly email, variety of ways. You can just go to my website, aarondegler.com, and we can connect there. And we can get together, and I can help you in those areas of your life that you want to start getting away from some of those untruths, become unfocused, and maybe start focusing on the truths in your life. So hope you have a great day. Thank you for stopping by and visiting with me today. And then tell my wife Kim every night before I go to bed, it's Bomb of the Night, AA, out.